Okay, so I'll introduce Pauline anyway while you're doing that. So, Pauline and Gary have been doing skincare workshops, and they have had amazing success with these skincare workshops. So I'm not going to tell you too much. I'm going to let Pauline do that. But what she's going to do is she's going to do her training on what they've done. So how they prepared for this. They've been very professional in what they've done. She has got the most amazing opener to get the party going, which is just amazing. And I can't wait for you to hear it because it's so good. But yeah, she's done absolutely fantastic. So I'll take that over to Pauline and let her share with you of her skincare workshop.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Hope you're all okay. So like Claire said, they've asked me to do a training on how to run a skincare workshop. Next slide, please, Helen. So why did we decide to use the word workshop, first of all? So in the 1980s, Oriflame was really, really popular, but they did most of their business through parties. I was an Oriflame consultant for a very short time in the 1980s, so I had done them previously. We also have experience of parties with a previous network. So when we were with Clean Easy, we did spa parties and we did cook parties. Since joining Oriflame, we've done parties for neighbours. So I've invited the neighbours round and we've had our Oriflame products out. And we've had reasonable success with parties in the house. But what actually made us think about doing workshops was a couple of things. First of all, when Claire won her trip to Greece, when she came back, we were having a conversation and she was telling me about how on the continent they do things very differently to how we do them. And one of the things they do was workshops, which made perfect sense to me. But also Craig has been pushing on a selling skincare set, sell one a week. And it was how can we incorporate that into the skincare sets and the workshops. And it was just like a light bulb moment. Okay, I know I can do parties, so why not try and change the word party to workshop and do skincare workshops? So that's what Gary and I decided we would do. Next slide, please, Helen. Again, the difference between the word party and workshop. So for me, a workshop means that you're educating people. So instead of just selling to people, what we want to try and do is educate them on why it's so important to have a skincare routine and why they should use our skincare set. So educating them through a workshop makes perfect sense. Also, brand awareness. And we've often come across the thing that people have never heard of Oriflame. So this would mean we could get in front of maybe 10, 20 people and show them Oriflame products and raise the awareness of our brand. And of course, we want to increase our sales and we want new customers. And again, these people are people that I might very well put a catalogue through a door to, but they may not look at it. Whereas if I've got them in front of me and they can try the products, that may be a way of persuading them to look at our products alongside the ones they already use. A big thing for us would be recruitment, because we are looking to recruit locally, and this means that I can get in front of people, spread the word about Oriflame, and hopefully recruit at the same time. So we've set ourselves a goal of holding one workshop a week. Next slide, please, Helen. So how to get started. So from our point of view, like I said, we've already held parties in our house with our family and friends. So you could very well get started with a party or workshop by inviting your family, your friends, your neighbours. Some of my neighbours I didn't even know when I invited them into my home, and we had wine and cheese evening. So it's quite easy to just introduce yourself. It's a way of getting more people involved with your business. As Annie said earlier, online parties are really, really popular. You could do a workshop online quite easily. You can ask your friends and your family to help you out. Just say to them, would you come along? You don't have to buy anything, just come along. Jim Rowan does a great thing where he invites people to his business meetings, and he just says to them, I just need them to make the numbers up. You can do the same thing with your friends and your family. Once they get to your workshops and you get them looking at the products that we've got, they will want to buy. And maybe the other way would be to look at holding them at events. So have you got a school fundraiser or a charity event where you could go along and do a workshop and help a charity or a school to raise funds? Next slide, please. So preparation, and preparation is everything. You have to be prepared for this or else it can go dreadfully wrong. So know your products. There is so much information on the Oriflame website. I spent a whole week going through videos, going through reports and things that are on the website, and I learned so much on skincare in a week. It was unbelievable. And what you're going to be selling is the benefits of using the products. So it's great to know all the science behind how they become such great products, but knowing the benefits is far more beneficial for the people that are going to be buying them. And write yourself a script. Next slide, please. So what did I do? So I put together a workshop pack. So it's really important that you coach your hostess. So when somebody has agreed to hold a workshop, you then need to coach that hostess so you get the most from the party. So in my workshop pack, there is a letter. And in that letter, there are also some invitations. The invitations are on the Oriflame website, so you don't need to reinvent the wheel. In the letter, there are hints and tips about what to do with the party and an invite list. So on the invite list, the hostess writes down all the people that she's invited and that she keeps that until after the party is completed. And you include catalogues and order forms. So if somebody says to her they're really sorry they can't make that date, she can say to them, would you like a catalogue to have a look at, and give them an order form in advance. So you're doing pre-sales before the party. You ask the hostess if she would like to be part of a demonstration. And I'll go into what the demonstration was that we did a little bit later. Now, it doesn't have to be, you have to make it easy for the hostess to hold this event. You don't want to make it an expense for her. She might want to make it a girly night in, or she might not. So you can suggest that if she wants to have alcohol there, that she doesn't get to do it all herself, but she gets people to bring a bottle and she just puts nibbles on. It may be that you're doing something in the middle of the afternoon at your local nursery, in which case it might be tea and biscuits or a piece of cake. It doesn't have to be that. But don't make out that the hostess has to spend a lot of money to put this event on. It'll put them off. And you need to agree a date and a time. Next slide, please. So before the event, you need to call or visit the hostess to run through everything so that she knows what to expect on the evening, and also you need to check how many people she's got coming to the event. And what I can say to you is it is very unusual for everyone that she's invited to turn up on the night. So usually it's about half, maybe just over. So why not suggest to her that she asks her guests to bring a friend, because that will boost numbers. And it's nice to have a room that has a reasonable amount of people in there, just so you've got a really nice atmosphere in there. And make sure your hostess knows what she will get for her hospitality. Okay, so this is what we agreed on for our hostesses, and you don't have to do the same, but this is how we decided to run ours. So for holding the actual party or the workshop, we've agreed that the hostess will get a gift up to the value of £20. Now you could use your freebies that you get for your sales for £130 to give to the hostess, or you could ask her to choose something from the catalogue. I mean, it's entirely up to you. We then agreed that the hostess would get 20% of the sales on the night. So if you think about it, you then encourage her to get the £130 so that you make sure you're over the 30% for commission. And then you're still going to be making money, but the hostess is getting something back. And remember, she's still buying that from the catalogue. And we also put a little incentive in to say, if she could get 2 parties booked from her party, then when those parties have taken place, we would give her another free gift. That would be our choice, and that will be our freebie for the sales that we get each campaign for the £130. So whatever it is that month that the final party takes place, I would give one of those to our hostess to make sure that she's appreciated. You have to make sure the hostess is looked after and appreciated, because after all, you're going into her home and you're going to be in front of her friends. So you have to make sure that she knows that she's appreciated. Next slide, please. Now, like I said before, it's all in the preparation. You need to arrive at least 30 minutes before the setup. I would suggest possibly even 45 minutes beforehand. The reason for that is to give you time to get your display out and make sure everything is right, but also so that you can have a chance to look at the room, see where everything is laid out, make sure that you're happy with it, where the chairs are so everybody's facing you, and have a chat with the hostess so that you feel a little bit more comfortable when people start arriving. You want to be there and set up before the guests start arriving. Now, you don't have to have everything. It's a skincare workshop, and so the main thing that you want to be selling is the Navage skincare sets. But if you don't have one, what you can do is actually print off the lovely pictures that we have and laminate them so that you can hand them round and show everybody. I do have some Navage skincare sets because I use them anyway. So I have my own, and I have bought something from each set except the Bright Sublime. I haven't got anything from that. But I had a day cream from the True Perfection, a day cream from the Ultimate. I have some of the collagen set, and I have the men's set. So you don't need to have everything, but it is a good idea to have some of them, just so that you can show them, as you're talking about them. Do a checklist. There is one on the website that you can download, or you can do one of your own, because you may not want to have everything that's on the website one, you may not want to include, but it's up to you. But I would do a checklist, and I would check things off so that when you arrive, you know you have everything in your box that you need on the night. You need to make sure you've got catalogues, pens, and order forms. And I gave a thank you card to the hostess when I arrived. Again, just to make sure that she knows I really do appreciate the time and the effort that she's put into making really what is money for me. Next slide, please. Right. Everybody loves a game. Okay. So we decided on 2 games during the evening, and the prizes would be the freebies that we get, from Oriflame. Everybody has to agree. We get loads of free things, so why not use them and put them to good use? And like I said, everybody loves taking part in a game. There are loads of games that you can find on Google. We chose 2. We chose a game with a telephone and one called Pass the Parcel, but we also did a raffle. Or a cube game you could do, and we charge £2 a strip. And so the reason for charging for your raffle is either to cover the cost of your raffle prize and maybe to put some money towards your petrol or other things. So last week with 2 workshops, we made £40 in raffle money. So that covered our petrol and part of the gift that we gave. Next slide, please. Okay. Some of you may have seen Dave Fenton's little presentation on Ada. Now, I have to say, when I was watching it, I thought that's exactly what I've put into my script. So, not too long. Okay, so 10 minutes is probably long enough, because after all, you want to have their attention, you want to get their interest, but you don't want to go on too long that everybody is bored of listening to you. So I made sure that we had their attention from the very beginning, and I'll go through what I did, as Claire said, to get their attention. And you need to make sure that you're making sure that they're going to desire to buy the products, and that their final action is going to be to place an order with you for the products that you've got on show. So we introduced Oriflame, and I asked everybody in the room if they knew, if they'd heard of Oriflame. And what you've got to do is build their confidence in buying from us, and to make sure they understand what a huge company we are, how large a company we are. I told people that we have a 1.3 billion euro turnover, that we employ 7,000 people. That builds confidence. That tells them that this is a company that they can buy from and stay loyal to and buy from again and again and again. You also have to stress to them the importance of skincare. So how important it is to look after your skin, and how you want them to have younger looking skin. And then you've got to introduce the brands. So Love Nature, Optimals, Royal Velvet and Navage. So I started off with Love Nature because they're the more budget priced items, and I passed them round as I was talking through my script. We went on to Optimals. When we got to Royal Velvet, I offered everybody a little capsule, the firming capsules, and I got everybody to have a try of those. Now, I did go through about 15 capsules. However, at my first party, I sold 4 jars of firming capsules. So I sold £60 worth of product straight off just by sharing a little capsule of firming oil. So it's worth doing these things. Okay, next slide, please. Senses sell. So to be able to see up close the branding of all the beautiful products that we've got, to smell the products. So the Love Nature brands apps, they started off with those. So when they started opening the jars and getting out the goji berry, the oats, and they were trying them on their hands and smelling them, they absolutely loved them. So they'd already started to talk about, oh, this feels nice, this smells good. And so the trying the products is really, really important at a workshop. So again, like I said, trying the products on the skin. We tried the firming capsules, and I passed around the moisturising creams that I had from the Navage range. Again, people talked about not being greasy, how they went into the skin quite easily, and I could see everybody was getting excited about what we had in the room. But you've got to remember that everyone is different. So the more you have for them to try, the better, because there will be something to suit most needs. Next slide, please. Okay, so the format for the evening. This is how we did our format. So I introduced myself and I thanked the host for giving me the room for the evening. And like I said, we did 2 games. So my first game was a telephone game, and it went basically like this. So I asked everybody in the room to get their telephones out, their mobiles, and I asked them to go to their dialer, and then I gave them my number. So they all put in my telephone number into their phones. And then I said I was looking for the fastest fingers in the room, and that on the count of 3, everybody was to go and press the number, and the first person that got through to me would win a mascara. Okay, so we get our winner, somebody comes through to me, and while everybody's still got their phones in their hands, I said, right, don't put your phones away, ladies. Next thing to do is I want you to save that number into your phone, and next to it, you need to put Pauline Oriflame, so that when you are going to reorder your products, you can come straight back to me, because you now have my contact details forever. Already, I've got the room in my hand, because they're already thinking, oh my God, we've already got her number. She's already very confident, and there we are. I've got them all. I'm already in their phones. I went through the script, and like I said, I introduced Oriflame. We talked about how important skincare was, and at the end of the script, I asked the hostess to come up, and I did the skincare cleansing routine, which is just a 2-minute routine, and it's literally cleansing, and then I put on the eye cream, the serum, and the moisturizer, and talk through how quick that can be done twice a day, and how important it is to be done twice a day, especially as most of the ladies in my room are older and they want to stop the signs of aging. Now, up until this point, I haven't given out any catalogues, and there's a reason for that. The reason is, if you hand out a catalogue as soon as they walk through the door, they will all start flicking through the catalogue while you're still talking. So you want to keep their attention while you're doing your 10-minute script on what you're saying, so that it sinks in what you're actually educating them on. So don't hand out your catalogues until you finish doing your script. So after your demonstration, hand out your catalogues, and then while they're looking through the catalogues, we did the raffle. I then offered to do any more demonstrations if anybody else wanted to have a go. If they wanted me to do the skincare routine on them, we then did that. And then talk to the guests. It's really important that you answer their questions, that you're chatty with them, that you're interactive with them. And then while they're still finishing off, and they'll come up, they'll look at the table, they'll retry the products, you can then say to them, right, who's up for a second game? And we did something a little bit like pass the parcel, only it's not pass the parcel as it in a circle. It's a script where you look for the lady with the biggest earrings or the smallest feet, lots of different things to go around. And then at the end of that game, while I've got their attention back, I tell them I'm going to do my sales pitch. I'm very open about it because I want them to know that this is the bit that is important to me, because they've tried all my products and everything, and now I do my sales pitch and I say to them, right, this is my sales pitch, and basically I want to know, have you enjoyed yourself this evening? Would anybody like to book a skincare workshop? Or if you wouldn't like to do skincare, perhaps you'd like me to bring the makeup along. And so from that, I have taken more bookings. And also then I also say to them, while I'm talking to you, do you know anybody who may be interested in a part-time job, whether it's somebody that's looking to earn an extra income? We don't have to do workshops. They can sell online, they can do catalogues. If there is anybody, please pass them my way. I'm more than happy to talk to them. And then finally, you take the orders. Okay, next slide, please. It's really important that you don't just leave it there and that you make sure you're looking after these people in the future. So you agree your delivery time, and when you're putting your delivery together, include your business or your loyalty card, whatever it is that you use to make sure people have got your contact details. Label up your products, a little thing that says to reorder, contact with your phone number. You agree the delivery day and the time with the hostess. I have told everybody on the evening it takes at least 5 working days for the goods to arrive. Some people paid on the night and others will pay on delivery. Check all the order forms for addresses to deliver a catalogue to. Write thank you on your forms and include an invite to join your Facebook group. Next slide, please. So how did we do? So the 2 workshops that we did last week, we achieved sales of over £600. I sold 2 skincare sets. We have 5 workshops booked over the next few months, and we've had 1 recruit. And I know it's not easy to stand up and talk in front of people, but what I would say to you is, once you start talking, it becomes easier. The more you prepare for it, the more you know about the products, the easier it is. And honestly and truthfully, if we can do it, you can do it. So go out there and get your bookings. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, Pauline, that's absolutely fantastic. I mean, I'm sure everybody agrees with that. You are so professional in what you do as well. You are so organized. You were born to do this. I'm dead excited for you because I think you're just going to do so well with this. But can I ask you the question, Pauline? How long would you say each party lasted about?
No longer than 2 hours. And okay. You know me, I can talk for England. So the first party started at 6:30 and finished everybody started going about 8:30. And the second party started at 6 and was over by 7:45. So about 1 hour and 3/4, 2 hours.
Okay.
But there is a lot of interaction in there. So yeah, about that.
Well, because obviously I've worked it out. When you had £600 for sales over them 2 parties, so say 300 a party. So that's earned you £90 a night.
Yeah. So
if anybody is looking at doing at these parties, 1 party lasting 2 hours has earned Pauline and Gary £90. So, this is so worth doing, and something that I'm sure everyone's going to agree with me on this, but would you be so kind to do this in like a live for the Matrix group for us to pin with the announcements, because there's going to be lots of people wanting to do these workshops, and it's something that we can have there all the time for people to watch and